Welcome to our e-learning video on the subject of political consent. In this video, we will explore the concept of political consent and its significance in democratic societies. Understanding the concept of political consent is crucial for comprehending the relationship between citizens and their governments. So let's dive in and learn more about this important topic. Political consent refers to the idea that governments derive their authority from the consent of the governed, meaning that governments obtain their power and legitimacy from the voluntary agreement of the people they govern. It is a fundamental principle of democratic governance, and it shapes the relationship between citizens and their governments in democratic societies. One of the key theories related to political consent is the social contract theory, which suggests that individuals voluntarily consent to be governed in order to secure their rights and protect their interests. According to this theory, individuals enter into a social contract with their government, agreeing to obey its laws and policies in exchange for the benefits and protections it provides. This concept was first articulated by philosophers such as Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and it has had a significant influence on modern democratic thought. Political consent plays a crucial role in democratic societies as it establishes the basis for the legitimacy of government. When citizens consent to be governed, they acknowledge the authority of their government and agree to abide by its laws and policies. This creates a social contract between the government and the people, which forms the foundation of democratic governance. Governments that lack political consent may face challenges to their legitimacy and authority, and may struggle to maintain the trust and support of their citizens. Furthermore, political consent is closely tied to the concept of representation in democracy. In democratic systems, representatives are elected by the people to make decisions on their behalf. These representatives derive their authority from the consent of the governed, as citizens voluntarily participate in the electoral process and choose their representatives. By exercising their right to vote, citizens express their consent to be governed by those elected to represent their interests. This makes political consent a vital element of representative democracy. However, the concept of political consent can also be complex and subject to debate. Questions may arise regarding the extent and nature of consent, such as whether consent is given explicitly or implicitly, whether it is continuous or limited to specific issues or time periods, and whether it can be withdrawn or revoked. Some critics argue that political consent may be problematic in practice, as it may be difficult to determine whether citizens genuinely consent to be governed, especially in diverse societies with varying levels of participation and engagement. In conclusion, political consent is a fundamental concept in democratic governance, establishing the basis for the legitimacy of government and shaping the relationship between citizens and their governments. It is closely tied to the social contract theory and the idea that governments derive their authority from the consent of the governed. Understanding the concept of political consent is crucial for comprehending the nature of democratic governance and the relationship between citizens and their governments in democratic societies. Thank you for joining us in this e-learning video on political consent. We hope this information has provided you with a better understanding of this important topic. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more informative content. Thank you.